Hey everyone, this is Shannon with Overland Trails Adventures. Have you ever been planning a camping trip? You're looking at sites, you're planning the whole route and everything. And if you're like us, you like to have a nice fire, at night and stuff like that. But all of a sudden you see fire bans everywhere. So we started seeing fire bans a lot. So we rotated to something like a propane fire pit. And we tried a couple of different options, but we found something new that checks all the boxes and fits all the parameters in which, that we like. So let's get into it. Now, if you're like us, you've tried a dozen things. You've got 5 different, camp cooking situations or whatever in your garage, and the stuff's everywhere. We've tried a 22-inch propane fire pit that's supposedly portable. It's huge. It's kind of bulky. We put a little top on it to cook on it. So it's kind of multi-purpose kind of a situation. Put it in a bag, be able to carry it around. Has a great flame, and it's good for groups because it puts out a lot of heat. Great to cook on because it's really hot, but it's bulky. It uses a lot of propane, so it's challenging to really use that kind of thing when you're trying to limit your gear, limit on space, weight and all that kind of stuff. We've tried the small fireboxes. Great things about it. It's small, compact, able to pack in, do whatever you need to. Uses less propane. The other challenges is it's not really good for large groups or groups of people. You can't really cook on it. You kind of can, but it's kind of hard, when you're trying to balance everything. That brings us to the Outland portable propane kit. And let's open the box here. We're not going to do a box opening, but I'm going to show you what comes in the box so you understand what all you get for your money. Bam! There's your unboxing. Okay, what you get is obviously the fire pit itself, the instructions on how not to burn yourself to death and blow up, and a lot of rocks here. I'm actually impressed with how many rocks have been sent. Usually it's just one bag, for a large pit. This is 2 big bags of rocks for a small pit. So this is going to fill up nicely. The rocks really help because they're what holds the heat and what permeates, the heat throughout the system. So it makes a lot of sense, but I'm impressed so far. All right, let's dive into a little bit of stats here. Okay, so it's called the Outland Living Portable Fire Cube. It retails for about $130 at the time of this video. This is 14 inches by 14 inches by 9 inches high. And with the rocks and everything, the way I understand it, it weighs about 22 to 23 pounds. So that's actually one of the major reasons why we bought this is it's square. So it fits in a place easily and takes up less space. It's small and light. So it's going to be bigger than the firebox, but smaller than the big 22-inch fire pit that's actually really made for backyards. So it meets all those requirements there. One of the things that I'm a little bit more impressed with, it is 58,000 BTUs for such a small unit. That means if I can find a grate that fits on the top of this, we can use it for heat and for a cooking source outside of the cabins and campers or whatever. So it makes it pretty simple to be able to have a multi-use function for it. We like everything to have more than one use, so it makes things a little bit easier. This hose here is 10 foot long, so you got plenty of safe distance you can get away from the fire pit. And it really just kind of drives that whole smokeless kind of fire pit thing. You still get the heat, the enjoyment of the flame. You don't get the enjoyment, the smell of the wood and the burning and stuff like that I like. But when you're in a fire ban, this really is going to come in clutch to be able to have a little bit of enjoyment like that. And with CSA approval, the fire ban is useful in most camp ban areas. So it makes it pretty easy. So to transport all of this, they sell a bag separately that is pretty nice. It's padded and everything. So you can then take the rocks, put them in here, take this, put it into the bag, and just carry it around, to wherever you're going. This is probably going to sit in the back of the vehicles on the platforms, because I always put a platform in the back seat. And so it should pack easily because it's square. Again, square better than round to pack into tight situations, do the whole Tetris kind of fitting thing. So that should lay out pretty well. One big thing about this versus some of the more expensive, nicer versions, this handle, this knob right here does not have a self-starting spark flame dilly in it, so you have to start this with a lighter. So be sure to pack plenty of lighters, the long ones, whenever you take this with you, because it will not self-ignite. Let's take it outside, plug it in, fire it up, and see just how well it operates. Show you a little bit of how it functions. Alrighty, as you can see, it's actually pretty hot. The wind's blowing a lot, so I can't really get that close to it. This is full blast. You can see the flames are pretty high. The rocks filled it really well, so I was impressed with that. There's a heat shield on the hose here at the bottom. That's new. Some of the others do not have that. The hose is a long hose, so you have plenty of room to spread out, keep things separately. And this is getting really hot, so I'm going to turn it down to mid. That's mid. You can still see a little bit of flame. It's got a good amount of heat. As soon as the rocks get hot, I could see this really permeating the campsite around it, pulling some chairs, running on the low so you're not burning a lot of propane, and it's going to work pretty good. I'm pretty impressed. I'm getting excited to be able to take this out. A lot of winter camping situations. Maybe we're talking about having a trip coming up in the next month or so, so this could be the new answer. And I apologize for the sun. It's crazy out here. Also comes with a lid, and it's pretty sturdy. This little strap here does really well for carrying it, and it just latches down here just like that. I like to take the strap itself, put it over the cable, over the hoses, so it kind of can stay a little bit strapped in there with those. It won't fit all the way over all the hoses, but it holds them pretty well. The bag seems to fit really well, lines up good. Okay, final thoughts. Seems to be a great product so far. The bag is sturdy. The lid, everything, the carrying system with the straps fits pretty tight. Plenty of rocks inside to be able to heat up well. Actually, more rocks that in this one than came with my 22-inch. It's kind of funny. It's not a self-starting, so we can get around that. It's no big deal. Use a lighter. The price is a little bit higher than I expect for such a small unit without that feature. I expect maybe $100 instead of $130. And if you're going to charge $130 Outland, include the bag, for such a small unit, make it, real convenient for us. But other than that, I see that it's going to be able to pack well, store well. Running it on low, it seems to be very well in heating. So in a camping situation, running between, low and mid for cooking would be really good as well. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. We're going to take it out, test it in the field. We'll let you know how it goes. In the meantime, I'll leave the link to this from Amazon down in the comments. And if you have any questions, just give me a shout, drop me a question, and we'll see you on the trails.